I'll do a discount belly dance for them.
Yeah, that's fine. Like if they call in here, I'm gonna give them free admission into Governors, something like that. If it's a Long Island foodie or whatever, or just people that are ready to call in.
Cool.
So,
Oh yeah, the wontons are at Governor's now too.
what's that?
My wontons are at Governor's now too.
Oh, nice.
Oh, are
Oh,
they?
really?
I have to
Okay,
remember to mention
good.
that.
Yeah, why don't you mention that?
That's awesome.
It's gonna be like a million things I forget to say.
What I do before I introduce you, sometimes I give like a little historical fact to your food. You know, like, ready?
We're on.
We're on? Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Let's Eat LI. And you know it's us because it's Thursday at 1:30. So that means we're here. Very excited. We got some interesting stuff here today. I'm going to get into it in about a moment. Before I do, I usually do shout-outs to everybody. So I'm going to ask you guys if you want to shout out to anybody that you know. My first one is I'm going to give a shout-out to a woman named Angel. She actually lives in Minnesota, and she listens to us and everything like that. So I want to give her a shout-out, and we all want to wish you well, Angel. Okay? To the right of me, I have Justin McDonald.
Yep. How's it
Just-
going?
How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Justin is a comic, basically, right? And a man of all things, man of all trades.
Comic.
All Mr. Entertainment, we're going to call him
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
All right, so Justin, anybody you want to say hello to?
Yeah, I'll just give a shout out to my wife, Edna.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's good. I guess I should give a shout out to my wife, but she doesn't even watch the show, so there you go. To the left of me, I have Kelly of All American Wonton. Say hello.
Hi.
Anyone you want to say hello to?
I was gonna give a shout out to Wendy from Food Truck Friday for setting this up, but I feel like I should give a shout out to my husband.
That's a good idea.
So,
I
hi,
spoiled it for
Scott.
everybody.
And what's your husband's name?
Scott.
Okay, Scott. Hello, Scott. And Wendy, we all love Wendy here. She's the goddess of food trucks. Wendy, call me. Give me any other food trucks you got. You know I love you, so whatever you could do for me, I appreciate it. All right, and at the end, we have Vito from, let me see if I get this right, A Little Brittle Heaven.
That's correct.
Right? So anyone you want to say hello to, Vito?
Sure. Real quick, of course, my family, my wife Narissa, my children Taylor, Thomas, and Timothy.
Well, you just had to one up me, didn't you?
Yeah,
Had to do it.
There you go.
and just one other little special one, if you don't mind. A very special woman, Santina Hammerly, had passed on. She was a great lady, a teacher in the Belmore school system, and just wanted to give a shout out to her and her family.
Okay, let's give a shout out to her then. That's very nice of you to do that. Okay, so today we have All American Wonton with Kelly. Okay, she's going to show us her wontons, basically. Very interesting stuff here, folks. It's not just the wonton that you could get at a Chinese place in your soup or anything like that. A little historical fact on wontons. I don't know why, but last night I wanted to figure out where they came from. And they come from northern China. They originated in northern China during ancient times. And the name that they gave them was Undan. So then later on it derived to wonton.
Interesting.
And what that means is wrapped meat, basically. It's just wrapped meat, basically. That's what it comes down to. And dumpling. Later on it comes a dumpling. So that's just a little historical fact, folks. Use it for whatever, trivia, Jeopardy. If you watch Jeopardy, maybe you'll know. I don't know. So we're going to have Kelly go into her wontons now. Then we're going to talk about brittle. And then, Justin, you're going to tell us all about yourself.
Okay, great.
All right? How's
Yeah,
that?
good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Go ahead, because we're hungry. We start with food
Yeah, I'm
first.
definitely hungry.
All right.
I've been
Go ahead.
smelling these things for the past 10 minutes. They smell delicious.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Go
like
ahead,
torture
Kelly.
staring at them and not being
Yeah,
able to
not
eat.
being able to eat.
Even for me. Well, the All-American Wonton started about 7 years ago. My friend and I basically realized that you could only get like cream cheese wontons or like meat wontons or like only the typical type. So
Right.
we basically just started putting different fillings inside, and then friends and family went crazy. So we were like, oh, we'll start selling this. We'll do markets. It'll be fun. Like we had no idea what we were getting into
Right.
at all. And almost 4 years ago now, I took it over full time and got my own kitchen. Then I just moved into Tri-County
Okay.
in Levittown. So we're in the food court there. And then about 2 months ago, I got a food trailer. So now I'm basically just like all over the place.
Right. So you joined the food truck people,
Yes.
right? Okay.
So basically, there's like 50 different types of wontons that we've done. But today I have white chocolate apple crumb, bacon mac and cheese, Philly cheesesteak, buffalo chicken, spinach artichoke, and broccoli and cheese. So we usually have at least like 10 different flavors at a
You know,
time.
even the vegetable ones sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
broccoli and
all
cheese
sounds good.
is
Just
like
and
one
I
of my
look at each
favorites.
other. What you said, like hey, what was a cheeseburger? And then,
I'm a Philly cheesesteak fanatic.
Philly
I
cheesesteak.
love
Yeah,
Philly
yeah.
cheesesteaks.
That one's
I just,
popular.
okay. So
I don't know if you want to try them or.
well, before we start, I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you wrap these manually, or is there a machine that you could use?
Right now it's all done by hand.
Okay.
So I have like, I don't know, 10 different workers probably right now.
Okay.
But we make all the fillings, mix everything. We use like 100 pounds of cheese in a batch and basically fill them all by hand, wrap them, put them on a conveyor belt oven,
Okay.
and then we freeze them.
And you freeze them.
So
okay.
yeah, we sell them frozen by the dozen, so you can take them home, put them in the oven, toaster oven, pan fry, deep fryer, or you can buy them baked at Tri County. You can get trays or just small orders, and then they're fried on the food trailer.
They're fried on
So.
food trail. Okay.
Yeah.
So you sell them in dozens, okay? And you have 50 types of varieties. Right?
Yeah, at least.
Is there any particular varieties that sell the best?
Yeah, we have our standard flavors like the bacon mac and cheese, Philly cheesesteak. I guess most of them that I brought. The white chocolate apple is a seasonal dessert one, but for the most part, we have like 6 standard flavors.
Right. Now, do you also like wholesale them? I understand they use them here at Governor's.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we wholesale to different bars, restaurants, Governor's Comedy Club. They have the bacon mac and cheese and spinach artichoke.
Okay. Well, that's good. They're diverse.
Yeah.
I'll give them a hand there.
can I ask, did they taste a bunch of them first and decided which ones they wanted, or did they just
Yeah, we
randomly-
brought a bunch of different samples over, and I mean those are always the most popular.
Right.
So.
So, do you ever sell like the pizzerias? You ever have like like let's say what do they call it? What do they call that thing when it's got the
Egg roll?
pepperoni and the salami and everything in it?
Stromboli?
Stromboli.
Stromboli,
Oh, yeah.
Stromboli wonton. You ever do anything like that?
That's one that I haven't
Or am I
done.
giving you ideas?
But I have done a pepperoni wonton, but not the
Okay.
stromboli. So
Uh huh.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Right. You should. Any like meatball?
Yeah,
Wontons?
we've done meatball, like chicken parm, eggplant rollatini.
Right.
Wow, that's nice.
Wow.
Yes.
What else?
Yeah.
I actually have one
That's
of my
pretty
favorites.
awesome.
It's like a cheesy olive popper. It's like olives, mozzarella, parmesan, some spicy red peppers, spinach, artichokes.
Do you,
Really
do you
good.
have any other like ethnic type wontons, like any Latino?
Yeah,
foods,
I've
any-
done rice and bean. Like I've done a
Uh-huh.
vegan nacho one.
Okay, you do vegan then too.
Oh yeah, spinach
good.
feta.
Uh huh.
My wife would love spinach.
Yeah.
feta. Yeah.
Actually, I've given the spinach feta to Spiro, so if he's
Right.
listening.
Oh, people here know Spiro. He was
Yeah.
on a couple of shows ago.
So we're trying to work on a deal for him.
Uh-huh.
So.
That's good.
What else? There's all different dessert ones, which are really good, like brownie batter, red velvet cake batter. What else? Banana Nutella.
Ooh.
There's just too many. I've
That's
done
nice.
cookie dough, cookies and cream. It's just
You have like a caramel type one.
the white chocolate apple crumb also has caramel in it. It's
Uh-huh.
just too many words. What else? I don't know. I want to do a dessert flavor with the almond brittle. So stay
Oh, there
tuned
you
for
go.
that. I have a lot of collaborations coming up.
Right.
Hit the kitchen.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you go to sleep at night, do you dream about wontons or anything like
I
that?
really do. It's like crazy. Either I'm like thinking about the next festival or another flavor will pop into my head or anything. So,
Right,
and you'd
right.
think I would be sick of them, but like 7 years later, every time I'm around them, I like can't resist.
Can't resist.
On the trailer, I have to like bring like a vegetable tray with me, so I like can try to just stay away because I'll just eat 20 of them in a day.
Now, then not only that, sometimes you have to go along with a dipping sauce of the wonton, right? That's
Yeah,
gotta be a little
I mean,
crazy.
you really don't need the dipping sauce, but some people like to dip into something. But I always eat them plain.
Right.
They're just good by
Yeah, I
itself.
can
I
see
always say
that.
the sauce is on the inside, so
Right.
it's just easy.
I could see that. Sure. What the heck? All right. Anything else you want to add about your business? You know, how long have you been in business for? I forgot to ask. You.
7 years
7
we
years? I
started.
think you might have said that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay.
But well, I'm also teamed up with Wendy, and we're doing a few events. So there's a truck or treat event, October 25th. It's going to be at the Old Source Mall in Westbury.
Okay, that's good.
And we're also doing a 16-day winter market called Deck the Mall at the Old Source Mall. So lots of big, exciting
A
events
lot of
coming
exciting
up.
stuff. Well, got to tell Wendy to come on and
Yeah.
advertise, and you know, I know she's busy with her Happy Pig truck, but
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure she'll be back.
she'll be back. Yeah.
Actually, tomorrow we have another one too, a back to school food truck Friday celebration.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
I can't
Any
even keep track.
entertainment or anything with that?
We have like kids activities tomorrow, cornhole games, vendors. I think Vito will be there
be
too.
Right, and that's Food Truck Fridays, 3434 Hempstead Turnpike, at the Good Shepherd Lutheran Church.
Yes.
Right in the parking lot. I
Yeah.
always say it every Thursday, so
Yep.
I just said it now, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Do you think you could wait a couple more minutes before we start with the wonton?
Sure, sure.
Because I'd like Vito for you to like talk about your brittle and everything.
Sure.
And then I figured we could just be like, you know, go a little animal and just like, you know, eat everything.
Eat a little bit of everything, sure.
Let's see. When you get your brittle out, put them like over there. Or I think we'll be able to, or right by the wontons. Let me see. Let me see how it looks. Let's see. Can that be visual now? On that? No, not there.
Move one out of the way.
No matter where you put it, I can't show both.
You can't show both. Okay, so let's move some of the wontons.
Okay.
This way, just all you need is a couple packages, right?
Yep, I got 2 of those and just a smaller one.
Okay, sure.
Which I have right here.
Right, he's got
I
one
already,
there.
I already took one.
That's okay. Okay, so Vito,
Yeah,
you done or you got a little more going?
I'm all
there?
good. This
You
I'll
done?
put over here.
Okay. So Vito, why don't you tell us how you got started and everything?
Okay. Well, we started in 2010, I think it was. My
Okay.
older son was about 10 years old, and he was diagnosed with ADHD and attentive. And we started looking into it, and we found out that diet plays a major part in ADD and its cause, and
Right.
changing your diet is a great way to treat it. So while doing the research, we found out that almonds, omega-3s in general,
What do they do? I'm sorry.
are beneficial. Omega-3s are beneficial.
Oh, beneficial. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So it basically
It's good
helps
to know.
close the synapses,
Okay.
and strengthen the cells. And so we found that amongst flax seeds and such, that almonds were a great source of it. So originally we started giving them just almonds in a little baggie, taking them
Right.
to school.
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And after a while, he got tired of eating just almonds, so I started looking into making some cookies with almonds and this and that, just to give him some different
Right.
treats. And among that, I went online, tried a few different things, and then came up with this recipe of almond brittle
Okay.
to make him a little treat.
Okay.
And he liked it. And then I started giving it to the family. They liked it, and it pretty much stood that way for about 10 years. So
Right.
He's 21 years old now, doing very well
Good. Good.
for himself. And in 2017, when the holidays started rolling around for my other business, we usually, buy like cases of wine and so on and so forth, and it's really expensive to give out to the clients and such. So my wife, in her infinite wisdom, says, "Why don't you take your brittle, because everybody
Put a little bag.
put it in a little bag, because everybody at Thanksgiving kind of really raved about it. Put it in a bag, give it to the customers, instead of and it'll save a little bit of money and give them something personal."
Right.
Everybody called. Everybody.
Wow.
and they raved about it so much. Where can we get it? We need to have more. Can you where is it? So on and so forth. I said no, it's just something I make in the house, whatever. So started looking into it a little bit more, and tried to find out how to go about it. And over the years, it's gotten a little easier to start a little business like this in your home,
Okay.
because there's a lot more people doing natural and so on and so forth. So we got a USDA home processor licensed and started getting some bags and some labels together and went to start talking to people. And another shout out that I'm going to do is I have a cousin in Manhattan. His name is Anthony Palermo, and he runs the Anthony Leonard Salon. And one of his clients is Dowry Alexander from Fox 5 News.
Oh, okay.
So we stopped up. He does my wife's hair. So we went and stopped up. We brought him some brittle, and she happened to be there. So he gave her a bag, and she took it back to the studio and sent us a photo. And if we have time, I'll show it to you a little later, of her with the whole newsroom, with the
Wow.
empty bag of brittle, and how sad they were because it was gone. So at that point, I said, you know what? Let's do this.
Let's do it, right?
So started talking to a few people, a couple of clients that put it in their stores and whatever, and it worked out pretty decent. And then I said, you know what? Now I'm going to go into the open waters. So the first one I went into was Zorn's over here.
Yeah,
on that
right.
page.
Sure.
Met with them.
They may be a guest actually on the show around
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
they're
I
great.
hope so.
Merrill,
Yeah.
Catherine, yeah,
Good
Laura, all the
Yeah.
gang.
Yeah,
Shout out
good
to
fried
them.
chicken.
Oh, fantastic!
Yep.
Fantastic chicken, and ribs and all the other stuff.
Everything
that they
else.
do. And they were our first real customer. They
Okay.
took a case of brittle, and we went in, did some tastings, and then from there just kept on going. We're in about 25 stores, independent stores on the island. We just started working with North Shore Farms in
Okay.
Mineola.
Yeah, sure.
We're in the Long Island Welcome Center off the LIE.
Yeah, anyone you want to mention, that's fine. This way people know where to go.
Oh yeah, Olish's Farms, Goldberg Bagels,
Right.
some of the best ice cream in the world. The Gourmet Whaler in Cold Spring Harbor.
Gourmet Whaler. I never heard of them.
Yeah, it's in Cold Spring Harbor on the Strip,
Wow. Okay.
and great food. And they have this wonderful organic ice cream that they serve, and you can
And
pair
that-
it with the brittle.
Is that basically organic too, or is it like
It's both natural and organic
natural and
ingredients.
organic? Okay.
I wanted to go all organic, but the price point of it would have been
Absolutely, be very high.
Yeah, I mean, we want to do a full organic version, and we're
Right.
in the talks of working with that. We're actually also coming out with a vegan version
Okay.
of the product. And so we said, you know what, let's do the best of both worlds. The sugar and the vanilla that we use are organic, and the butter and the almonds are conventional,
Right.
and the water is, water.
Right. Water's water. Actually, we like because New York water is supposedly the best, right? For
Yeah.
bagels and brittle, I guess too,
That,
right?
and we filter the water ourselves.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, that's pretty much where
And almond is the only flavor, right?
right now, because wow, it's there was a joke about, I think Jerry Seinfeld did, about extra strength Excedrin and regular strength, and why not just come out with the full strength? It's so hard to turn out a
Right.
SKU,
Right.
of something like this, and,
Uh-huh.
and to come out with other flavors. Once we can get ourselves into our own space, we're in a shared space right now.
Right.
Once we get into our own space and have a little R&D kitchen going,
Right,
or something,
right.
then I'm gonna we want to do a whole bunch of different things.
Okay.
And first being the
Just a
wonton.
little historical fact, because I did the wonton, so I'm going to do the brittle now.
Okay.
It dates to the Celtics actually invented or originated brittle. I don't know if you know that. What they would do is they would put sugar on their peanuts and bake it.
They put sugar on their peanuts. I'm sorry.
So no, I'm serious. So what happens is while it's baking, the sugar turns into like a caramel, very dark, and that's how it got started. And then people started eating it like that.
Yeah.
Just a little historical fact.
That's
I like to do that. Anyway, are you online also if people want to purchase?
Sure, yeah. www.brittleheavenli.com.
Okay.
And the reason why it's not a little brittleheaven.com is when we went for our trademark,
Right.
somebody stole
Oh,
the name
really?
and tried to charge me like $10,000.
No, we
So
don't want to do
whoever
that.
you are,
Right.
I'd give
That's
you the
that's a lot of brittle. Yeah, forget
Yeah.
about that.
People do that all the time. It's like the most
Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird
disrespectful thing. It's like, come on, man. Really?
Yeah, we're going for another trademark, and we got the .com first. That kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. Anything else you want to add? I mean,
Oh, it's fantastic.
okay.
Um,
Does it consume a lot of your time at
Oh
all?
well, yeah. I mean, right now I'm kind of like splitting my time between my this business and my other business, and but this is starting to take over.
Okay.
And you know, we're doing a lot of work at night, and
Right.
we're also we do the festivals. We're doing Kelly's festivals.
Right.
and
That's
Randy's
got to be a
festivals.
good seller at festivals too.
It goes
I would
great at the
imagine.
festivals, you know, and you know the wholesale portion of it, the online portion of it, and it's pretty much myself, my wife, my daughter Taylor is helping us out, and our niece Antonia, my wife's sister's
Yeah. Okay.
daughter, are helping out. And now we're trying to get into a situation where we bring some more people in, but I'd like to get, you know, a dedicated space.
Okay.
And then we can start really getting people in. We start
Okay.
working with distributors and. that
I
whole
might
nine
know a
yards.
space for you.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
Ask
that's
me
good. See,
later.
that's
Sounds good.
networking. We're networking.
Networking right there.
Networking. All right. So why don't we start with the wontons, and while we're eating, Justin, you can tell us a little about yourself if you want to
Sure.
start now. Kelly, let's
Torture
go.
him. He can't eat it yet.
Well, you know, let's see. Kelly, why don't you start with the wontons? Tell us what they are, and then we'll have a party now. This is the party time. So.
Well, there's Philly cheesesteak with a honey garlic sauce drizzled on it. So I don't know.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, twist
Well,
it
we
around.
have plates here. If you want. We
True.
got some plates. Let's toss it around.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'll pass that.
No problem. Hold on. Here's some for you.
There's a bacon mac and cheese. I drizzled some ranch on it.
Okay.
But like I said
Don't-
before, you don't need the sauce,
Got a
but it
plate,
just looks
Vito?
nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got yours?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
no good.
Wow, that's good.
It looks
Oh,
really
oh,
nice with
I
the
got one
sauce.
stuck
I'm a
to it.
non-sauce person. but
Yeah.
Bonus.
I'm just
Yeah,
lazy.
right.
it looks good.
Okay, and this is the what? The Philly cheesesteak, right?
That one's bacon,
Bacon
mac,
mac.
with
Oh, bacon
ranch.
mac. And this was the Philly cheesesteak.
This is
Yep.
buffalo
Okay.
chicken.
I'll take one.
Wow. Oh yeah. Sorry, Justin. There you go.
They're probably cold, but I'm
That's
sure
all right.
That's
Yeah.
okay, man.
they'll still be delicious.
Actually, I ate them right out of the fridge, and
Really?
they were fine.
Hey, you're talking to Italian, man. You know what we
Oh,
do? We
God.
go on cold pizza all the
Yeah,
time,
cold
man,
pizza,
right?
cold
Broccoli
pasta.
and
Right, Vito?
You got it.
And which one is this?
Broccoli and cheese.
Broccoli and cheese, okay?
And then spinach artichoke.
So my wife can't argue that I'm having
You didn't
no
take any vegetables.
Yeah.
Especially in this job. She watches. She doesn't watch the show too much, but she'll watch to see what I eat, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I
got
White
one.
chocolate apple crumb with some caramel on it.
So,
All right, so
make
that's
sure I
the
put this
dessert
up
one, right?
Yeah.
to the end here.
Okay. All right. Here we go. There you go, Justin.
Thank you, sir.
Get the crunch when you bite
Yeah.
into it.
Okay. That's it, right? That's
Yes.
all of them.
This is
okay.
I think I left one out.
The
Okay.
bacon mac. This is really good.
Thanks.
Okay. So we're gonna try some of these,
What do I
then
want?
while we have the brittle, Justin can tell us about himself. Which one do you like so far, Justin?
Well, I've bitten into this bacon mac and it is delicious.
I think I want broccoli cheese.
I was actually very surprised about how good
Okay.
this is.
Oh, we got more.
No, I was
Oh,
just
okay.
feeling a broccoli cheese.
Now, did you didn't go to culinary school or anything like that, right?
No, I have a business degree, but I'm just a foodie, so I think it's better that way because you're like, I don't know, you try things, you think of new things.
I gotta
and
say, I have the
always
broccoli and cheese first.
experimenting.
This is really good.
Yeah, I know, I love that one.
Wow. It's not overpowering with broccoli either.
I love cheese, so
Yeah, you got a good combo here. Very good.
With the bacon mac, a lot of times I think with bacon and macaroni, you don't put it. There's not enough bacon flavor.
This
When I
is
bit into
just the
this,
right
I had
amount,
it was just the right amount. It was like, oh, I can taste the bacon. Like that I really appreciated.
thanks. Yeah, we just did a bacon, beer, butter, bourbon festival last weekend. And we did a bacon jalapeno popper, a bacon loaded potato, and then the bacon mac and cheese.
Mm,
I've even done a dessert one with bacon,
sure.
chocolate peanut butter bacon pretzel.
Yeah, well, we
Wow.
had we had the chocolate duck on it, and they did chocolate covered bacon.
Yum.
It's delicious. This
Yeah.
is good. This is the mac and cheese one I have, right?
I think so. Or is that the Philly cheesesteak?
Nice.
I don't know.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah, really good.
I mean, I've had these at every festival or every market we've done together. Every time I order different ones, and they're all. I just eat them. I don't care what it is.
I'm glad I
Doesn't
have
matter.
the water because I want to reset my palate
Yeah.
before I eat the next one. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're always cycling out flavors and doing new ones. I want to do some breakfast ones,
Breakfast would
some
be cool.
pumpkin
Yeah,
ones.
absolutely.
Yeah, Thanksgiving and Christmas flavors. There's
Yeah,
too
you could
many.
do a turkey cranberry.
Yeah, I've
Kind
done
of wonton. What do you think with some
tur-
stuffing?
yeah,
Yeah.
turkey stuffing, gravy, corn,
Yeah,
potatoes,
that'd be good.
and I did a cranberry gravy with it.
This dessert
I
one.
want that one now.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Dessert
getting
one's
dessert
rich.
right now.
This is really rich.
Like a
It's good.
glaze, you could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I kind of don't want to do that around Thanksgiving. I want to do it like, I don't know, when
You can have that
people,
anytime.
yeah, like some other time in the year, because I feel like around Thanksgiving people like don't want that for some
Get sick of
reason.
turkey?
yeah.
They like the build up of getting the turkey. And then once it's all over with, it's like, damn it, now I got to eat turkey for the next
Yeah.
2.5 weeks.
I like the
Oh man, this
buffalo
white
chicken
chocolate,
one.
this white, wow, that's just insane. I feel like Violet
Don't be
Beauregard.
shy, Justin, if you need any more, man.
They're good. I didn't eat breakfast on purpose.
I think this is the Philly cheesesteak one.
I don't know, I think, what did I do? I think that one might be Bacon Mac. I think the other one was Philly.
I don't know. It's good though.
I don't know, but they were good.
Thanks.
I'm not a big dessert person. And that apple crumb was good. I mean, I can only have like one or two because it's very rich, but
Yeah.
it's so tasteful.
Thanks. I forgot to mention you can also order them online. I ship them frozen.
Oh, really?
So, allamericanwontons.com.
I was going to ask you that. You do ship them frozen then?
Yeah, tri-state area.
That's it?
Eventually I'll figure out. Well, I mean, I can ship anywhere, but I overnight it. So, like, if you send it to Florida, it's like $100. So,
And you know what?
Right.
For something like this, I've been finding that people will pay the shipping.
true.
Now, Vito, you go all over the country, right?
We're working on it. We're allowed to now. Yeah, we've gotten as far as Florida, and the brittle makes it there, nice and crisp.
Right.
Yeah, so we could go anywhere, and we'll ship it right over to you. We try to get the best shipping price for whatever order and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, this might sound stupid, but what's the life cycle of brittle? Is it like forever?
Well, these here, I mean, depending on how you keep it, if you're in a room temperature environment, it stays for a long time. I keep a 3-month shelf life on it just to be on the safe side because if I can't control what's happening on it with it on the outside, I'd rather it be pulled off the shelf than have it issue. But for the most part, if you keep it in the, I've had some from Valentine's Day that are still good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I kept them in a little, because we did a little Valentine's Day package, and actually a few days ago I found it. It was buried, and it was fine. It was really good. So yeah, it's got a little life to it. But the enemy of this is heat, because it's there's no preservatives in it, so it's not it'll melt in heat.
Right, right. By the way, this apple one, oh, it's delicious.
Thanks.
I should have brought a cup of coffee with it.
They're all
yeah. I know I got my coffee here. I'm
Amazing.
saving some for the brittle.
The broccoli and cheese was phenomenal.
Right, it's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm just finishing up the buffalo chicken now. That's good as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Anybody want any more? You want more about that, Justin?
I'm going to
You good?
throw this one down right now and we'll see.
I'm going to have one more. Which one of these?
Apple.
One more apple.
I'll have another
And then
spinach one. Those are really good too.
we're going to start to distribute your brittle. And Justin, are you appearing anywhere? Are you doing anything?
Well, I'll actually be here November 8th in the little room with
Okay,
Terry
good.
McNeely. Friday I'll be Mount Sinai at Barton's place, 8 p.m. doing a show there with Aragona Comedy Club, which is John Butera, who's been on a couple of the podcasts here.
Uh-huh.
October 19th for Halloween show at Shaker's Pub in Bohemia. And I think I think that's it for now. Off the top of my head, that's all I can think of. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Okay, no
I'm still
problem.
old school. I have a calendar on the wall. And I write on the
Right,
calendar.
right.
I don't do anything in my phone because I'm a
I
klutz.
do both.
I'm a klutz. I'll drop my phone in water.
Yeah.
I would die.
Like I do a lot of kayaking. I'm constantly like I won't even bring my phone because I'm like knowing me, I'm just gonna drop the thing in the water. It's gonna be the end of it, and
Right.
then I gotta pay $1,000 for a brand new freaking phone that I didn't even really want to begin with.
Okay. Now, is your comedy geared to a certain thing? Like, how everybody's got their own, like, humor for whatever they do,
Yeah, I talk a lot about home life and having kids, and you know,
Well, that's
you
good.
know, that's typical stuff. And then I was in hip hop for 25 years. I was an MC and I was a radio personality for 10. So a lot of times I'll get into old stories or stupid stuff that I may or may not have gotten into, depending on the date of when I did it and what the limitation is of being arrested. So, but and I just look for what's funny. Like I'm very observant, so I'll observe things and I'll find them funny, and then I'll go on stage and I'll try to do them, and they're not necessarily funny to everybody else, but in my mind it was funny.
Trial
So,
and error, right?
trial and error. It's always, I go to a lot of open mics. I'm constantly trying to practice new jokes and expand. And I started doing comedy almost 4 years ago.
Okay.
In May it'll be 4 years. I've been doing a podcast I was doing a year before I started comedy. So I was podcasting, doing radio, and being a hip hop artist all at once.
Right.
And I hit a certain age, and I was like, time to move on. And as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to do comedy. I remember staying up late night watching HBO and seeing Pryor and Bob Nelson and Stephen Wright and guys like these do this comedy.
I like Stephen Wright. He's funny.
And as a kid, at 14, 15 years old, I didn't have an outlet to go do comedy. I didn't know where to even start to go do comedy. But my friends all had recording studios. So it was like, all right, well, I like music too. We'll get into the music. So as I stopped doing music and actually falling away from doing radio, I started getting stifled, creatively.
Right.
So I was,
You were
so I
getting
started doing
complacent.
so I started doing the podcast, and then John Butera, the guy I'm doing the show with on Friday, he hit me up one day. He's like, "I heard you're a comic," and I was like, "No, I'm not, but I'd really like to be." And he was like, "All right, so come here this day, and we'll put you on, see how it works." And I've been doing it ever since, and it's just I'm very passionate about it. It's it's a lot of work. It's hard work. It's just like anything else. Just like trying to get your business off the ground. I'm my own business. I'm my own brand. I got to
Right.
sell myself. I got to put in a lot of hard work for myself, and I've done pretty well. I mean, I've done Governors. I've done
That's good.
done Broadway Comedy Club. I've done Dangerfields. I did.
That's not easy.
I did a festival in Maryland last year.
Right.
They paid for me to come down. Well,
That's good. Well, you
I
get
didn't pay
paid
for
to
my
go.
gas,
Yeah,
but they
right.
paid for my hotel room. I was in a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
They paid for it for 4 days.
Nice.
And all I had to do was a 10-minute set. So
Not bad. Not bad.
yeah, it was so. I was in the Gaylord Hotel, I believe it was.
Uh-huh.
It's like right on the borderline of Maryland and D.C.
Okay.
Beautiful outlook on the water,
Chesapeake Bay.
30 stories high. It was
Yeah.
really, and had a huge festival in there. It was a music, arts, and gaming festival that they added comedy to. So I'm walking around. There's all these people dressed up, in different characters. Zelda. And I was like, when they invited me back next year, and I was like, if I do this next year, I'm gonna have to bring my son. Because my son's
right.
9. He's into all this stuff, Super Mario.
Right,
Bros.
right,
I'm
right,
like,
right, right.
Yeah.
He'll enjoy this, and he'll enjoy the fact that people are really dressed up and taking their characters seriously, and people are battling. It was like, for me as a 40-year-old, never going to Comic-Con or anything like that. This was like I was walking around till 2 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
intrigued, knowing that I had to get up at 6 to drive back to New York. But I was like, this is just so intriguing.
Yeah.
That so it was fun for me, and I love doing the comedy thing. It's like I said, it's not easy, and I'm my own biggest critic, so I'll never, people will be, oh, you're funny, and I'm never one of those people that's like, yeah, I know I'm funny. I'm always like, no, you're better than me. Like, comics don't like that.
Right.
So, like, I got a couple comics I'm really close with, and I'm like, no, you're better than me. No, you're funny. I'm like, yeah, I may be funny, but you're better than me, and I'm
Right.
trying to get to where you are. Meanwhile, that person's like, well, I'm trying to get where this person is. So it's a constant ladder that you're trying
Right.
to climb when you're doing comedy. You want to. I have goals. Gave myself a 6-year goal.
Right.
I would like to be at least a working comic where I can just do that
Right.
and not have to do my job in the next 6 years. If I get there, I get there. If I don't, I don't. I keep pushing on.
Right. You
just
still
like
have,
everything else.
You have your family. You have your life.
Yes,
so-
and I'm pretty good at setting goals for myself and making sure that they happen.
Right.
We bought a house 3 years ago. Our me and my wife's goal was 5 years. We ended up doing 7. Doesn't always take but
Take it
but,
for whatever you can.
exactly. but we stuck to the goal and we ended up getting what we needed to get done.
Right.
And that's just like anything else in life.
All
I know
right.
you guys were expecting me to have something not philosophical and funny to say, but
Well, before we go a little more, Manny Lauren saying hello to you right now.
Hi.
Do you know who she is? Obviously, she knows you. Says, hey,
Yes.
Justin McDonald, hi.
Yes, I do. Hey.
There you go. We want to say hello to Gina. Gina is a member of our governors here. And yes, Gina, I will reach out to you next week. We have Eric from Knock 'em Dead was watching, and also Tony Walker from Knock 'em Dead is
I
watching.
saw them both coming out.
Right.
Eric was pulling
And
away.
thank God they're watching, because I don't know if there's anyone else out there watching today. just kidding. We get a lot of people afterwards and stuff, you know.
I don't want to cut
Justin, don't be shy. Whatever you
I'm
want.
not. I'm looking for the
It's
Philly
all,
cheesesteak.
it's all on Kelly here.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So, do you have any like stories about hecklers or anything like that? Any guys like heckle you or anything?
My mom.
Your mom heckled you, yeah.
My mom heckled me when I first started off because I have a joke about, and actually I still use it. It's just been converted now. You know, like kids don't do anything these days. It's impossible to get them outside. You know,
Right.
they're always on the tablet or whatever. When I was a kid, it wasn't like that. 9 o'clock in the morning, my mom would walk in my room, flip the mattress, get up, get dressed, and get the fuck out of my house.
Yep.
Old Italian woman. You know, and I moved around a lot, so I thought this was a social structure. Right?
Right.
No, it turned out she just hated me. She didn't want me in the house. And my mom, you know, she's like, that's not true, like in the middle of my act.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I look at my mom and I go, you know, yeah, it's not true. Now you're
Right,
proud of
right.
me.
Right,
After I had
right.
kids, it wasn't true. Back
Right.
when I was, but you know,
That's so true. I grew up, Italian. I had a mother.
Yeah.
I went to the college for the comedy or whatever. The comedy college.
County College.
Yeah, and I appeared here at Governors, and then I did what's that place? McGuire's out east or whatever.
I've done McGuire's. Love
Right,
that pub.
yeah. And so I do a thing with my mother. I mean, you got the Italian mothers. They're like, usually they say, "Oh, I'm so proud of my son," but they're not proud of you until you made maybe $1 million or something like that. Or
When are you going to stop screwing around?
Right. Like, my mother was a very negative person, So I told her, that, gee, Mom, I'm gonna be a comedian, I'm gonna be appearing at Governors. My mother would look at me and say, "Don't make me laugh." I'm just saying, like, that's what she was like. Or if I said, I want to be an accountant, she'd say, "You don't know how to count." You know what I mean? Or stuff like that.
I told my mom, I was like, you lost your Italian card the minute you went vegan. You're no longer allowed
Oh,
to
my
claim
God.
Italian.
Right.
She's a vegetarian, but my mom's not a negative individual. She's a very positive individual.
Right.
But my mom is also brutally honest. Like, so
Right.
that Whopper came out, and she went and got one, and she was like, "This shit don't taste like meat."
Right.
She was like, "It tastes exactly like that stupid burger that you buy me every time you have a barbecue,
Right.
the black bean burger that cost $1." She's like,
Right.
"Why am I paying for this at Burger King?" She's like, "Don't bother getting it. It doesn't taste like meat."
Yeah.
And I'm like, at least with that, like, 'cause, a lot of vegetarians and vegans will claim like this tastes just like this. So
Yeah.
I'll refer to my mom.
Right.
Mom, try this. See if you like it, and then come back to me. Like meatless meatballs. I tried them once, and I was like, "This is
Right.
not a meatball.
not
It's not a
the same."
meatball. It's a falafel." Yeah, and it's not even a falafel because they didn't use chickpea. It's just like they use straight up just
Soy.
soy and breadcrumb. And I'm
Everything
like,
is soy.
yeah, I'm like, this is what we used to do with the breadcrumb after we were done making chicken cutlet. You make the patties, and
Right.
we eat those. Yeah, so, and I got nothing against veganism. I've thought about going. I thought about becoming a vegetarian a couple times, just maybe to lose weight, and I tried it, and I love to cook, and I've been
Right.
cooking since I was 8 years old because I single mom, worked 2 jobs. I would have to cook for myself a lot of times. So I am in no way a chef. Will I ever call myself a chef? But I know how to make stuff. But
That's
everything
how I
I've always-
started out. I mean, my mom obviously, would cook for my father and the whole family. But a lot of times, like, I always tell this story. I started getting into cooking when I was in Little League football, and they had a cake sale, and my mother worked, and she couldn't make me a cake, for the day they wanted it, and so I went into the into the cabinet, and I pulled out a Betty Crocker, and I made myself a cake.
Wow.
There you go.
And she said, you made this cake better than I could have made it. And I'm like, oh, really? And then it all started right there, pretty much.
Yeah, so but everything I've ever cooked has been meat.
Right.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. The funny thing
Vegetables
about
always been simple. Steam the vegetables, a little salt, a little pepper.
Right.
Maybe some cheese. So me trying to convert what I know about meat into vegetables just doesn't translate in my head.
Uh-huh.
So everything I ever cooked, I was like, this is terrible. So I'm sure if I went to a vegan restaurant,
Yeah.
someone who's been trained in that, I'm sure it'd be delicious. I haven't had
Yeah.
that experience.
Like, we had a vegan restaurant called the Purple Elephant on recently.
Yeah,
And
they're
I've been
right by
dying
me.
to go
They're right
there.
by me in Northport.
Yeah, they're delicious. The stuff is delicious, you know. With the way they make it, the sauces and everything they put onto the vegetables,
Gotta check it out.
really good,
Yeah.
you know. And I can see
Don't they
people.
have like an avocado chocolate pudding or something?
Yes,
there?
that
I've
we
been
had
wanting
that.
to try that.
we
Wow.
had the avocado chocolate pudding on the show,
Hmm.
and let me tell you something. It was better than the regular chocolate pudding.
Really?
Need to go
I don't know
there.
how they make it, but it was really delicious. It was
Yeah,
really.
I have
good.
friends that have been there because I live in Huntington and I used to live in East Northport, so I have a lot. It's right in the middle of the two. So I
Yeah.
have friends that are constantly posting, "Oh, I'm at the Purple Elephant." I was like, "Oh, all right." I pass it all the time. I'm like, I know exactly where it is. I just never.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it was a restaurant.
Right.
You know, because it's right next to like a surf shop and
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
boat store where they
Right,
sell these
right.
huge boats, and I'm like, I just assumed it was like a surf place. No, so I told my wife we gotta go down there one day and try it out
Yeah. I have a
because I've
huge
heard
list
nothing.
of
I've heard
places
nothing
I
but
wanna go.
good about that. Yeah.
I don't get out much. I only do festivals and make wontons.
Yeah, that's
I make
it. Right.
wontons.
Well, Vito, man,
Yeah.
let's
Sure.
brittle it out,
I got
man.
a
Let's
little,
show
bag, a little
everybody.
bag over
Package
here.
right there,
This
right?
is the package, and it's got one of these little, nice little
things you
fan
open
type
up.
situations here.
And I know Kelly wants to have some now,
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
I'm like, should I even start? Because once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
Now, what-
when you gave it to me before, that's why I
Right.
didn't eat it. I was like, let me
Yeah.
have the wontons.
So-
I was like, 'cause once I start eating this brittle,
Kelly, when do you start eating this? Like in front of TV or just in general?
Yeah, I mean, like, he'll give me some at like the end of a festival, and I won't make it like out of the parking lot with it. I'm like
Right, right,
shoveling
right,
it
right.
into my face.
this is amazing.
You like it?
Oh yeah.
Good.
This is
It's-
kind of.
It looks light, very light, like.
It's
kinda.
light,
Yeah.
and the nice thing about it is it's easy on your teeth. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't pull your fillings out.
Well, that's good.
It's a nice soft taste, a good texture, rich.
Right.
But not too sweet and not too
It's
overbearing.
not going to be like grabbing your teeth as you chew or anything
Right,
like that,
exactly.
right? You
No,
know what
I just
mean?
had a piece. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's give it a shot.
Pass it
man.
around.
I'm
And, I'll put some more on this plate.
I'm a big toffee fan, and it has a mild toffee flavor to it. That is,
Yeah,
it's just,
toffee-like.
I love that.
You got you.
I have a little bag over here.
Okay.
That I'm munching on.
You can
And you're
crack
right.
it.
Yeah, it just
Not
it
bad.
almost melts.
Melts.
Very
It
good.
almost melts right in your mouth. It's really good.
It's really good. It is.
Thank you.
This is something that I could give to a younger child and not be afraid of him choking. Like you buy normal peanut butter brittle out of a box.
True.
It's hard, doesn't break down, it sticks to your teeth.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, my
is
almost
really-
4-year-old loves this too.
Yeah.
This could be like a habit forming brittle. I
Well,
think,
yeah.
right?
See, we started these little ones here, and a buddy of mine, Jeff Regan, called these the crack packs.
Yep.
And I mean, what you could do, you could eat it right out of the bag, sitting in front of the TV or whatever. But you could also, have it with red wine. It goes good with a beer.
Yeah.
Believe
Sweet,
it or not,
salty,
yep.
whatever,
Yep.
right?
With Zorns, it goes good with their chicken.
Crumble it on your vanilla ice cream or
Yep.
whatever
Yeah,
ice
yeah.
cream you got.
Now, when
Yeah.
you put it on the ice cream,
Yeah.
you pass out. That's the problem. You put it on, and you're out.
Right, right.
Cheese really works well with cheese. Try it with the white chocolate wonton.
Yeah, I was
Or
just
try it with
thinking,
any of the
what should I put
wontons.
this in?
It'll work.
Right, yeah.
It works out really good.
I can see this being very good with like a charcuterie plate.
Charcuterie
I'm
plate,
eating,
yes,
I'm eating
exactly.
cheese plate, yeah.
Yeah, go right with that.
This is good.
Uh,
All right, let's say hello to Jacob Baranowski. He watches every so often.
How's it going?
You know Jacob?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
I'm a friendly guy.
We got Jim
I just
Ray.
say hello.
Jim Ray.
I know who Jim Ray
From
is.
Three's Company.
From Three's Company. Yeah, actually, I watched him over here. Him and Graz did their
Right.
did the ping pong thing over here. I came down and watched him do that. He's really he's pretty good at ping pong. I'm not gonna lie. I expected him to be okay because they were there's a whole they did it for charity, so it was cool. But he's actually Jim Ray is actually a really good ping pong player.
Well, Jacob likes the camera angle,
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, cool.
and
Awesome.
he likes it. And Americo is watching too. You know Americo Flavin at all? He's a comic.
I don't think we've ever met, but I do know who he
Okay.
is. Through people
He's
in the
been on the
industry.
show. In fact, he was on with Spiro, and him and Spiro did some belly dancing on the show. That's probably why we hit almost 4,000 people on that one.
Vito,
Plus,
get up.
Americo's going to be here. We're doing a show with veterans because Americo does a lot of work with veterans. You know.
Does he work with the Veteran Comedy Assault team? Is that with Tugboat Manny and them?
I don't know. He might. I don't know. It's possible. But he's going to be on I believe it's November 14th. We're going to have veterans here. and they're gonna talk about being comics and everything, and maybe we'll give them a little opportunity to do a couple of things, and we're gonna have Dang Barbecue here also. So
I've had that.
have you had Dang
Yeah.
Barbecue? Yeah, he's pretty good.
I've had that.
Yep. So that's gonna be a good show. Next week we're gonna have Dog Day afternoon. We're gonna have a show on organic dog food.
Really?
Okay.
Are you gonna try
right.
it?
I don't know.
I bet you probably can. I bet you it's probably human
It's raw, I know that.
consumable, but
Quick dog point. My daughter's pit bull ate a whole bag and the bag and was fine. I know you're
good.
not supposed to give dogs almonds, but she was fine.
Really? I always thought it was just chocolate, but I guess
Well,
almonds
that's what
too,
they
right?
say, but again, she
Uh-huh.
ate, again, the whole bag and the bag,
Right, right.
labels and all, and was fine.
being someone who's been around pit bulls since I was 12, 13 years old, it's a different breed of dog. They don't go by the same standards as regular dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They can eat anything.
My pit bull ate a pound of chocolate. He weighed about 60 pounds. He ate about a pound of chocolate.
Nothing happened.
I was pooping a little weird for a couple of days, but he didn't die. Pit bulls are just a different breed of dog. They're not on the same level as like a golden retriever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
At least as far as I'm biased because I've been around them all my life.
Right,
I
right,
love those dogs. I'm always fighting against bans for those. A lot of states trying to ban the dogs. I'm like, it's not the dog. It's never the dog. It's
Yeah,
always
they're
the
like
owner.
teddy bears.
Right.
As humans, we are pieces of garbage, and we tend to make everything else around us garbage. And it's the same with pets. So yeah, I do a lot of. I'm always trying to support pit bull foundations and stuff like that. They're really good dogs.
Uh-huh.
They used to be called the nanny dog.
Okay.
Because they used to be able to leave them with your kids. You'd have to go out in the fields and do work or whatever. They send
Right.
the dogs, and the dogs would watch the babies. And actually, a real quick story about pit bulls. This
Absolutely. Go ahead.
lady was in her yard. She's on a rocking chair on a porch, and she had a 4-year-old pit bull, and the kids were playing in the yard, and all of a sudden the pit bull darts for the kids. So the lady starts flipping out. She's thinking that the pit bull's going for the kids. Jumps past the kids. There was a rabid dog in the bushes stalking the kids. The pit bull smelt it out, pinned it down, waited
Wow.
for the mother to get the kids, and then let go and ran back to the porch and sat down where he was sitting. They're really good and loyal dogs.
Excellent dogs.
I love those dogs.
Yeah.
Just as a note, America said yes. Comedy assault. Is that what you would talk
Yes,
about?
yes. Yeah, that's they do really good for the veterans. They have a class that they do where if you're a veteran, I believe it's free. They come down, they teach you the basics of comedy, and then they do shows together.
Right.
So they'll travel together, and they're just like they would in the military. They're a band of brothers, and they pretty much travel together, and they'll go do VAs or they'll go do. They'll do nursing homes, and then they'll do shows here, but they're all veterans, and they're all really nice and really funny guys. I've met a lot of them.
Really?
So
Good.
yeah, Art Schill is part of that. I don't know if anybody, but he's
Well,
a great guy.
We're going to have them on the show.
That's
you
going
know,
to be
so
yeah.
they're
It should be fun.
They're going to do whatever they do, and we're going to feed them good, and it should be fun.
I got to say, I'm glad I picked today because I love peanut brittle and I love wontons.
So there you go.
There you go.
I'm kind of like, it's not like usually like sometimes we get people, their food is delicious, but how much, cinnamon bun pancakes, once you eat that, then you got to go to the rest of the food. Like you're pretty
Yeah.
much done
You're
after
done.
the cinnamon bun pancakes.
You give me that, you can't just give me water. You got to come with a gallon of milk.
Then
I
you
need
get,
milk.
then you get the
know.
meatloaf sandwich after that, and then
Yeah.
it's like
Uh-huh.
Then when I go home, I can't move. I'm just on the couch like a beached whale. And believe me, I look like a beached whale too. So
I don't know how these competitive eaters do it. These people who go in and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
competitive
Yeah.
eat, and half these guys, like I don't remember but the Asian guy that used to do it. I don't know if he still does it, but
the
he
hot
was
dog guy, right?
yeah, he was like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
and he would eat like his body weight.
Crazy.
And I watched what he did. I watched what his training was. And I'm like, that's not training. You're killing yourself, man. You're killing yourself. Your stomach's not meant to stretch that far and come
Well,
back.
And just
apparently,
the
I think
nitrates,
that's what
too.
you have to do for those competitions. They have to eat, to stretch their stomach.
Yep.
It's not you're supposed to starve yourself. You're actually supposed to stretch your stomach. I don't know. My favorite concept of that was I don't know if anybody's a Paul Newman fan, but I love the movie Cool Hand Luke. I don't know if you guys ever probably before your time, and probably before your time.
I
as
know
well.
of it, but I know of it. Yes.
But there was a scene. He had to eat a certain amount of hard-boiled eggs. I forget the amount. I don't know if it was like 70
No, yeah,
or
it was
75.
like crazy
whatever.
number, yeah.
That's too much
And he
egg.
was training, and George Kennedy was his buddy, and massaging his stomach and everything like that. And he was eating it. And I heard, actually, on the set, Paul Newman actually ate those hard-boiled eggs.
Oh wow.
Wow.
To make it more authentic. He was like that kind of an actor, you know what I mean?
It's kind of like Danny DeVito when he played the Penguin. He was actually eating those fish.
Oh, was he really?
was he?
Okay, there you go.
I was gonna say,
Same thing.
Put a lot of lemon on it in order to get it
Me-
down.
method
Yeah.
acting, whatever they
Yeah,
call
yes,
it, right?
yeah.
I should have just given him salmon. I mean, salmon probably would have worked out fine.
Right.
raw.
Yeah, really.
No, my dad was always into older movies, so I'm a huge Marx Brothers fan.
Oh, yeah.
I go on
okay.
Marx Brothers binges where I'll go to the library, I'll rent like 3 or 4 movies, and I'll just sit in my man cave. My wife will come in and go, "What are you doing?" "Oh no, not again," and just walk out. And I tried to get her to watch. She's like, "How do you find these funny?" I'm like, "It's intellectually
Right.
stimulating."
Just,
I was like, "It's intellectually funny." I was like, "You have to really listen to what they're saying
yeah.
Right.
to get the comedy."
Right.
And I guess I try to be cerebral like that too, but it's not as it's not as common anymore in comedy to be like that.
Anymore?
Right.
That was, like the Three Stooges were slapstick. I wouldn't consider the Marx Brothers slapstick, even though they did some slapsticky stuff, but it was very just more intellectual comedy, I think, and
I
I
agree.
love their movies.
I like the Marx Brothers. I'm not a big Three Stooges fan.
I wasn't either.
Yeah,
I wasn't
same
either.
here. It's cool.
The
when it's,
hitting and all that stuff, not for me. But I love like Abbott and Costello
Abbott and
too.
Costello
They
is
were- they
another
were-
Yeah, who's
Yeah.
on first, of course.
really
Yeah,
good
right.
stuff. But with the Marx Brothers, they were the first to come out of character in a movie. I think it was Duck Soup, if I'm not mistaken, and he's talking to Encyclopedia. The woman. What's her name?
I don't know her name, but she's in
Yeah.
every Marx Brothers movie. She's
Exactly.
always the one that
And-
Groucho's chasing
Exactly.
after.
Right.
And he says something there, and he goes, "He shot her a glance." And that was the first time that anybody came out of a character and spoke to the audience from the screen.
Rob Zombie bought the book Raising Eyebrows, which was about the pretty much the death of Groucho Marx's last few years, and he actually tried to put a movie out about it. It never worked out, but he tried for about 5 years. And apparently, like his last few years of his life, whoever it was, I guess his secretary was taking care of him, but she was like drugging him and abusing him, and it was very sad, especially for someone who was considered like a comedic icon of that particular time. And he was always, I watched older interviews, he was always, up until almost the day he had his stroke. To the day he had his stroke, he was very witty, right off the cuff, almost just like Rodney, like Rodney was. And you don't get that in a lot of human beings. So like very rarely does it come out. Like someone like Rodney, everything was a joke. You couldn't tell when he was being
great,
serious
too.
and
Rodney
when he was
one of my
and when he was joking, because he could just make a joke about the microphone. He'll see the microphone and go, hey, and
right.
just, I can't do it. I'm not that good.
Right.
You know,
Right. Right.
But yeah, it's so I love the Marx Brothers. They were one of my first influences in
So
comedy.
let me give you a little test, see how good you are. What was the name of the country? Was it in Duck Soup?
Estonia.
Estonia, not
Fredonia.
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 Ah, there you go.
Hail,
Fredonia,
hail,
but you know what?
Fredonia.
There's a Fredonia, New York.
Yes.
There's also a
that was
Fredonia,
of
New York.
University up there.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's why Rob Zombie, Captain Spaulding, all the characters are all Groucho Marx.
Right.
Rob Zombie was actually a big Marx Brothers fan, which I didn't know. So that's when he did those movies, House of a Thousand Corpses or whatever, and you had Captain Spaulding, and the guy had every single alias that Groucho ever used. It's cool. It's cool seeing stuff like that, and that people, because especially someone like my age or younger, you say Marx Brothers, and they go, "Who?
Right.
Groucho Marx? Who?" Like,
Now-
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I understood that the mustache was actually painted. It wasn't a real mustache.
It was painted. And
For a
I
while,
think later
right?
on in life he
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
just used his regular mustache. But yeah, that you could tell it was shoe polish or whatever they were using. Nobody grows a mustache that's square, that's that long, you know.
What was the show he had? Was it Kids Say the Darndest Things or What's My Line or? He had
Oh.
like one of those kind of comedic talk shows.
It was something where a duck would come down with the word or something like that. I don't know. Before my
What's My
time
Line?
too. Yeah. I
What's
forget
My
what
Line?
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
All right. Anyway, so I want to thank everybody here. Vito, thank you. Kelly, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Delicious brittle,
Thank you
delicious
for having us.
wontons. Justin, thank you for sharing.
thank you for having me on. It was great.
Yes, come on again.
I
Anytime
will.
you want.
I will.
Can we do another real quick shout out?
What's that? Yeah, go ahead.
For
Sure.
both of us. Yep.
was
We'd like to.
thinking
We're
that.
both members of the Long Island Food Council, which is a wonderful organization for anyone starting a food business or who's in the food business. Check out LIF's. I think it's
The
Google-
LongIslandFoodCouncil.com.
Yeah, Google Long Island Food Council. It'll come up. So if you're looking to do this kind of thing and you're on the fence about it, come to a meeting and you'll you'll get a little bit of information. More.
There you go. I never knew about
Yeah.
that. Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were just at a
All right.
meeting this
We'll-
morning.
We'll,
just had
spread
a
the
meeting this
word.
morning.
Have them come on when
Yeah,
they
we can
want to
get them on
introduce
for you.
things or whatever. You know, we do. And I have a gentleman that made cocktail sauce. He's going to be on.
Oh, cool.
one day. Yeah.
I make my own cocktail sauce.
Yeah,
too.
he made it and then
I'm
he's
very
starting to
particular.
sell it.
Gotcha.
Very particular about my cocktail
All right.
sauce.
So thank you, everyone. Next week, stay tuned for Dog Day Afternoon. It should be entertaining. We may even have a couple of pooches here.
Cool.
And I think that's it. So I would have a lot of things to plug right now, but I really only have about a minute left.
Oh, sorry.
So thank you, everyone. No, it's not you. It's me. I'm getting lazy now. That's all. But anybody wants to be a sponsor, please let us know. I could use some sponsors and would be happy to plug you anytime, any day. So that's it. So thank you very much. Next week we have as our comic Jay Christopher, by the way.
Fat J, that's one of my
Fat
friends.
Jay. Fat Lives Matter Jay Christopher. All right. So that's it. So thank you very much, and that will conclude our show. Thank you.
Thank you.